You're listening to Radigan's Rockcast, a series focused on talking about music from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and even current. Now, here's your host, Tom Radigan.
What's going on, guys? It is Radigan from Radigan's Rockcast. Of course, I am your host, Tom Radigan, always as and always for the music fans. Thank you, whether you're listening to this on WMYO, YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, Anchor, Castos, wherever you are on. I am glad you are on. Let's begin. So, we are at the end of the Maroon 5 album series with going over their last album, and that came out in 2021. So, the recent Maroon 5 album is Jordi. And Jordi, like Red Pill, it is similar to Red Pill Blues in some ways, There's nothing really, exciting about this album. Maroon 5 still sticking to the sound they did on Red Pill Blues. The one of the singles, Beautiful Mistakes, is honestly so similar to what lovers do, but a little bit more catchy, and it makes you think that the melody too with it as well, that if they hadn't had so much like auto-tune on it or so much overproduction, it would have sounded probably really good as just like an acoustic or just a regular, rock style song, It probably would have worked pretty well. But because they didn't do that, it doesn't really work as well, I think, in my opinion. I don't think it really works. I think in a sense that these songs, have somewhat of a okay quality to them, a little bit better than Red Pill Blues. There's a little bit more memorable, but still at the time, the overproduction just makes it a little bit barely audible to hear, I feel, Lost is like a song that you can forget about. I really think Easy. Echo too. Echo is just honestly was annoying for me. Lovesick too. The song Remedy was an interesting song with Stevie Nicks, and it would have been more interesting if there wasn't so much overproduction. I mean, for the longest time, I didn't even, I listened to it twice, and I didn't know that was even Stevie Nicks on there. And it's just it makes no sense to me. It made no sense. I didn't understand it. And, but it seemed like a nice tune, but, we can barely hear it. And then we've got, Seasons, which is another song that's, not that memorable either. I mean, a lot of these songs, and I'm gonna be straight with you guys. Yeah, every song, One Light, Convince Me, Others, Nobody's Love. Some of these songs I can't even think of, they sound wasn't that on the other album? Wasn't that on V? Wasn't that on, already on Red Pill Blues? I mean, they don't have any distinction, really, or anything that really works well. The only songs that work well that are at the end, and that was recorded in 2019, and then during COVID, that's when, the songs were more of, more of going down south again, or going downhill, with Red Pill Blues. But the songs that were recorded in 2019, you thought maybe they have a good chance of getting out of it. With a song like Can't Leave You Alone. It works well, too, with Juice WRLD, who unfortunately passed away. And then having a song that also focuses on death, which is Memories, which was about their manager, who was Adam Levine's I think close childhood friend, and bringing a song that can work and relate to everybody. I think it has a positive message, and I remember when it came out, and I thought it was really interesting. I really liked it. I thought wow, Maroon 5's kind of going a little bit back to their sound again, a little bit still of that I like the type of production, type of instruments they use on it. The guitar work is a little bit better, because the problem too is I feel like why is James Valentine still there because we're barely hearing the guitars anymore. And let's hear the guitars, because James Valentine's a good guitarist and all that. It makes no sense that we're just not hearing the original music, and we're just hearing more machine based, and more cookie cutter stuff from these guys, and I mean, again, they're trying to keep relevant, because the music business is tough. The music industry loves young people, and considering Maroon 5, these guys now are in their 40s, and all that stuff. Adam Levine wants to keep relevant. He wants to keep relevant with people, and he's collaborating with younger artists, now, as we see, but also too that it's just that as well, he's it's like they don't their stuff is working. It's their stuff still selling, and the thing I kind of compare him with it, for instance, is I compare Maroon 5 with John Mayer in a sense. John Mayer and Maroon 5 started out around the same time. John Mayer's first album was released like about a year before theirs, and all that. And but the thing with John Mayer and Maroon 5 is Maroon 5 decided to go and follow the new trends of what was happening in music, when John Mayer really just stuck with what he loved doing, and started performing with the Grateful Dead and all that, and stayed true to his rock and roll roots, unlike Adam Levine and Maroon 5, I feel, and that doesn't mean that they can't still, that Adam Levine, when he will go on shows and performs God Only Knows or a Beatles song like Ticket to Ride, doesn't mean that he doesn't still have his game, or doesn't mean that he can't play a good, cover and all that. But it's just, there's no originality anymore with their stuff, like the Memories remix on this it's not bad, it's all right. Another rapper too, of course, because we got Nipsey Hussle, I think it's Nipsey Hussle, who also passed away, and ironic because it's about memories and all that too, about people who have died, and then the other songs on this, the bonus tracks are really nothing too. And I think, to be honest though, what gets in the way of a good Maroon 5 album is this trying to stay current and trying to stay with the trends and all that stuff. And I think if Maroon 5 did what they did in the early days and just had their, no auto-tune, not having, each song with a different producer, and all that, if they want to really make just an album, then all they really need is just a band, and that's it, Don't go crazy on the production aspect of it, I think, I think that's what Maroon 5 will need to make, a good album. And I think Memories was a good song, and I think it was heading in a good, and it seemed like the band was heading in a good direction, even with Beautiful Mistakes. But then the rest of the album just seems to die out, And I did not know what to expect with this album. Like, with Red Pill Blues, I expected, because I already knew some of the songs, that I didn't like them, and I expected that I was not going to like the album. With this, I didn't know if I was going to like it or not, And, it wasn't, I didn't think highly of it. So, my final thoughts on this album is that, as much as this album seems like, they wanted this to be a success, it just doesn't reach, the Maroon 5 rock audience. For a audience that loves the 2010s music, and now, as we are in the 2020s now, people will probably love it. People are probably buying it up, they're still going to be a household name, and all that. But for people who are rock fans and all that stuff, this is not an album for you, if you're really hoping that Maroon 5 has got their act together again. No. So, of course, this rating for me is another Simon Cowell.
No.
So, that's it. We've gotten to the end of the Maroon 5 album series. Was there any thing that I missed on the album? What's your favorite song? I want to know, and all that in your comments. You can email me. Don't call me. I'm not going to give out my number, but you can email me at tomradigan66@gmail.com, and all that. You can even contact WNYO as well. Whatever that you want to know about Maroon 5 that I didn't mention and all that. Thank you very much, and like always, see you guys next time. Bye.